This is a part of history I'm sure many people would like to forget, but this story needs to be told. The year is 1848 and James W. Marshall has just discovered gold flakes at Sutter's Mill. This innocent event quickly escalated into one of the most significant events in the history of the United States. 300,000 people traversed west in the span of 5 years with dreams of making a fortune and changing their lives. While most traveled to the foothills of the majestic Sierra Nevada mountains in the north, the impact of the gold rush was felt across the land, which now comprises California, even as far south as the rugged mountains of San Diego County. This is the story of Southern California's most lucrative gold mine, a mine which produced millions of dollars of gold, displaced the native inhabitants of the land, and fell into disarray just as quickly as it had been created. This is Stonewall Mine. The story begins following the dubious Mexican-American War, where, in 1848, America had gained possession of the land comprising California and a number of other states. This, in tandem with the aforementioned gold rush of 1848, brought large quantities of settlers and prospectors to far-reaching lands in search of new lives and golden dreams. The Cuyamaca Mountains lying east of San Diego were just one of many regions which Americans began to explore for the first time. The native people who inhabited the land at the time, the Kumeyaay people, had seasonally traveled between the coast and the mountains of San Diego for at least 12,000 years, and potentially even longer than that. The name of the mountains themselves, the Cuyamacas, actually originate from the Kumeyaay language, which are believed to mean either rain above or the place above the rain. The Kumeyaay believed that the mountains were a sacred site and knew of the existence of gold in the region, but placed very little value on it. Oral traditions of the Kumeyaay promoted the belief that disturbing the land and extracting resources from the sacred mountains was a desecration of holy lands that would bring misfortune to those involved. I'm sure no one would find this out the hard way, right? The Kumeyaay way of life already began to experience some disruption when their land was under Mexican and Spanish rule, but the sudden influx of new American settlers put even more pressure on their community. One of the most destructive pieces of legislation was the Land Claims Act of 1851. Which required Native Americans to prove their title claim to lands, a concept which is notoriously foreign to the Indigenous understanding of land use. A lack of access to legal representation in conjunction with the cultural practices in land ownership caused most Kumeyaay claims to the land surrounding the Cuyamacas to remain either unfiled or outright rejected. In addition, in 1850, the California State Legislature passed the Act for Government and Protection of Indians Bill, which was absolutely devastating for the native indigenous people. This ironically named bill did the exact opposite of what its namesake implies. It legalized forced labor of Native American children up to age 18 for men and 15 for girls, legalized the displacement of indigenous peoples from their ancestral lands, and prohibited indigenous people from testifying in court against white individuals. To quote the civilian governor of California at the time, quote, "A war of extermination will continue to be waged until the Indian race becomes extinct. Between 1846 and 1873, it's estimated that settlers killed between 9,492 and 16,094 indigenous Californians. Several thousand were also starved to death or worked to death." The situation escalated substantially when, in 1870, the rancher Fred Coleman found gold flakes near the present-day town of Julian, north of Lake Cuyamaca. The gold discovery opened the floodgate to American miners who saw an opportunity to win big 20 years after the initial hype of the gold rush had impacted so many other parts of California. In 1875, the establishment of the reservation system in San Diego County was one of the first nails in the coffin for the Kumeyaay ownership of their indigenous lands. Between 1875 and 1891, a number of small scattered reservations were established in areas like Campo, Manzanita, and Cuyapaipe, where the Kumeyaay were slowly but surely translocated to. The Americans eventually got their way, and within a single generation, the Kumeyaay homeland for thousands of years was transformed into mining districts, where they were treated as unwelcome intruders. On March 22nd of 1870, a man by the name of William Skidmore, who was a Confederate sympathizer, discovered a thick vein of gold on the southern shores of Lake Cuyamaca. He decides to name this mining operation Stonewall Jackson Mine after the famous Confederate general. The yield of gold from the Stonewall Mine was initially promising, yet quite modest. This remained as such until one man, following the displacement of the native Kumeyaay, saw an opportunity to capitalize and develop the land much further. Robert W. Waterman, a wealthy businessman and eventual governor of California, purchased the claim to the land for a hefty sum of $1 million, which is equivalent to about $33.8 million today. Thanks to his wealth and vision for an industrial-scale mining operation in the region, he invested in state-of-the-art machinery including a 20-stamp mill, hydraulic systems, pneumatic drills, and chemical processing facilities, which made for very efficient extraction of even difficult-to-reach ores. By 1887, over 200 men worked at the site around the clock. The operation became so productive that a small community, Kumeyaay City, had sprung up around it, boasting a general store, post office, school, and hotel. At its peak, the mine was producing approximately $7,000 per week, which is about $200,000 every week in today's currency. This productivity, of course, was only possible due to the awful labor conditions and low wages of the workers who frequented the mines. Chinese immigrants and Mexican laborers were relegated to the most dangerous and least desirable positions. Insufficient safety measures led to numerous injuries and deaths, most of which went unaccounted for. At the same time, Waterman's health began to rapidly deteriorate. It's believed that he developed a stress-related illness as he was concurrently running the mine as well as being the governor of California. Shortly after completing his term, Waterman suddenly passed away on April 12, 1892. By 1893, the mine was forced to close permanently after reaching an impressive 600-foot depth for the main shaft, including a number of side tunnels. The impact that the mine had on the local environment was devastating. Vast swaths of forest were cleared for timber and fuel. Mercury and cyanide, which were used in the chemical processing plant, contaminated the local waterways when it was released. The impacts of the mine can still be felt today as the ecosystems never fully returned to their natural state of being. Kumeyaay elders maintained the belief that a curse was placed on the mine, which gained a lot more legitimacy following the tragedies which impacted the Waterman family after acquiring the mine. When the economic panic of 1893 hit, that was the final killing blow to the declining Stonewall Mine, which led to its permanent closure. According to local legends, Waterman had found an exceptionally large vein of gold just prior to his death and kept the location secret, hoping to mine it for himself rather than sharing the profits. The secret had died with him, and despite numerous expeditions after his death, the vein of gold was never found, if it even existed at all. There were numerous attempts to revive the Stonewall Mine operations in the early 20th century, with all resulting in failure. Between 1920 and 1922, there was a substantial attempt to reopen the mine, with investors believing that modern techniques might actually make it possible to extract ore which was originally considered unviable back in the 1890s. However, a number of structural issues were found in the main shaft after years of neglect weakened the timber supports. A partial collapse of the mine shaft occurred during these years, leading to the end of any commercial viability in the mine. By the mid-1920s, the property was acquired by the state of California as a part of what would become Kumeyaay Rancho State Park, and the mine entrance was sealed for safety reasons. Remnants of the mine can still be found today, and while exploring Kumeyaay, me and my friend Jake decided to hike to this mine and see what still remains to this day. Almost looks like there's like a fence gate or something over there. I don't know if you'd be able to get in, but all this old abandoned shit. Damn, all these big ass wheels and shit. I wonder if this is unlocked. Damn. Front porch. I think this is like the main entrance to the mine right here. Right down there. We discovered this house next to the mine, which was basically a history museum for the site itself. Dude, this is sick. R.W. Waterman. Crazy. Yes, sir. Rip that shit.
Hell yeah. Dude, look how fucking beautiful this place is. Oh, it smells so fucking good. Fuck. What the fuck is a mine cage? This thing, I guess. Oh, they got mountain lions out here. Oh, they got like a whole picnic area up here. Oh, these are bathrooms. It's kind of fun. It's like a ghetto ass water fountain. A super old water fountain. Damn, they boarded that shit up, bro. We found the engines. Which one?
Oh, it says smelter room site. That's probably where they got all the ores and shit. And like,
Bro, I want to go check that out, hikey. I think
I'll be real quick. It says this is the engine site, but I don't see anything except this big fucking hunk of. Oh, this place is crazy. What the fuck is this? I guess this is the engine, but dude, that's gnarly. This wall is gnarly too. I don't know. I want to check out over here where this smelter room is. For real, bro. Where is this smelting room, bro? Is there anything under the snow? Not really. I don't see shit though. Unless it's like underground here. Yeah, dude, this is like sick as fuck. There's a pipe that goes like over here. It looks like it comes over here somewhere. I see like some cylinders and shit. This is the type of shit I love to do, Jake. I gotta keep it real. It's fucking fun. Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking cylinders and shit here. Yeah, look at all this debris and shit they left. Some metal wires in the ground. Fucking. Oh my god. Dude, that fucking whizzed by my head, you fuck. I should have known when you said, bro, this is the cleanest snow we've seen yet, bro. Yo, what is this? Oh shit, we found something, bro. What the fuck? Damn. The campsite. Yeah, dude. Fucking nar. Look at these satellite dishes, bro. Bro, this is sick. Something tells me this is probably not where we're supposed to be, but I don't really care. Look at all these trash cans, bro. Shit, bro, if you can carry it. Yes, bro. This is a nice spot up here too, bro. Dude, they must have used to have a campsite here. There's no way they didn't. Look how many, like, these are basically brand new grills, dude, over here. Sick. Oh, thank God we found the bridge. My hands back. Fucking. Oh, shit. Yeah, we definitely have to come back here, bro. All these birds. What's up, bird brains? Synchronized fucking.
Lake Kumeyaay.
Look at these fucking guys. Loud, goofy birds. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Yeah, that is peak right there. So freaking beautiful out right now. Gang gang. Hell yeah.